Here, we thank you guys. We was prepared to preach, had all our notes written out on a little piece of card, index card, and they came and they opened the window or put the fan, and all the preacher's notes went out. So the preacher's standing there, his notes are gone, but thank God it's in your heart. So we are able to take care of technical issues such as videos won't play, okay? So let's talk about the video that we did see and let's look at some questions. But first I'd like to ask, do anybody know about how many people are in prison in Thailand? Do anybody have any idea? Do you have any family members or friends that's in prison in Thailand? Anything about prisons in Thailand, in your country? Might be something we might want to know. Okay, test time. Question number one. This is your task. Question number one. What fears or stereotypes do you have about prisons and prisoners? And tell me, if you can, where do they come from? Anybody? It's no right or wrong. But what fears do you have about prisoners? I'm sure you all have fears. Yes. Even with the chaplain standing here, you have fears. Go ahead.
Dangerous or violent, and I think we get a lot of our stereotypes from TV.
From TV. Okay, that's good. Great, great. The danger, the violence that comes with that, and the stereo that they put on TV is where it comes from. Anybody else? That's great. Good. Brother Dennis.
Trust issues.
Trust factors, yes. I don't know, it's like when you lead somebody to the Lord and they're struggling, and each time you help them, and one after the next they go, then they they have problems, then they go back to jail, then they come back and forth, that recidivism, the revolving door. It really turns the trust issues down, trusting people. It's hard to trust people, but that's a good one too. Thank you. Question number two. Every year, approximately 700,000 inmates like these return, or like those in return are released. Why should we be concerned about that? What happened if they fail? Why should we be concerned about people that's returning back and forth? That's 700,000. We want to make sure that when they come back to our communities, that they stop robbing us, or breaking in the house, or robbing the bank, or doing some of the problems that they had. So what should we do about it? We as the church and the people of Jesus Christ, we should reach out and try to help those people.
They have the program that I know, we call it halfway
house, yeah. We had, just by way of testimony, I had six we don't call them halfway houses, aftercare ministries. When they come out of prison, a lot of them get saved in prison, as they said on the video, and we have aftercare ministry. Well, I had 6 of those houses in North Carolina, and I had 18 men living in those houses that came from prison. And it just so happened that this group of men that I had were from Cuba. I don't know if you ever heard, some of you people that might have been here, I don't like the word you people, but some of you that have been here for a long time may heard of the Marietta boat lift. This is when Castro put a whole bunch of his prisoners and mental ill patients and sent them over to the United States in about 1980. And they came in 1988, and they came into our country. And the immigration put them all in prison, a lot of them, for about 23 years. Well, 3 years ago, Martinez, he sued the state of the United States, and the case went to the Supreme Court. And in June of 2007, I believe it was, 2003, in June of 2003, the Supreme Court ruled that the government had to let those people out, plus give them some resources. And I had quite a number of those men living in my home that were on the Marietta boat lift. Okay. Another question. Return, show the importance. Okay. What are the importance that faith has with these ones that's returning? How important is it for our faith, the faith community, to embrace these people? Anyone? Pastors?
I think we'll give them hope.
Right. Right.
Give them some hope.
Good. I tell people say, with my hair, do you sell dope? I say yes. It's spelled H-O-P-E, hope. Dope, hope, H-O-P-E.
Yeah, okay.
So I push dope, H-O-P-E, hope. Okay, good. Thank you. That's my great student. Okay, last one. One of the ex-prisoners in return goes back into the community, in the correctional facility, teach an inmate that they can have a fresh start in Christ. Could we see yourself doing something like that? Have you ever been offered a fresh start, and what did it mean to you? Can you see yourself reaching out to prisoners? Let's see a show of hands. Not many. Okay, good. I guess Thai people don't like to reach out to prisoners.
Our church did. Yeah.
Your church, tell us.
Over there.
Okay,
Maybe I can share with you later.
okay, good. Okay, so you got the video, you didn't show the second part? Okay, let's look at the second part. And the problem is with fear, but let's look at the second part and see some of the things that you can do to reach out to prison as a faith community, okay? And I come back.
Why do I feel at home inside prison? That's maybe kind of difficult to answer, other than I realized I was where God wanted me to be. I'm from the Houston area.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
And I'm from Dallas, North Carolina.
A lot of women who volunteer and come with me, I have to coerce them because they're very afraid. And when they get there, it all goes away. Because the women are so delighted that we're there to see them.
Because if you look around, more and more men, women, they're coming out of jails. Where are they going to go if we're not there to help them? They have to have those coalitions in place in order to be able to help them to get back on their feet and start a new life.
We go into 2 correctional facilities, one for the women, Unit 13, one for the men, James River, in Virginia, and we go in as an example, showing an example of a godly marriage.
And we want them to see how God, interacts with a husband and wife, somebody who's been in a place where they've been, and now that that God has changed them, changed their way of life, that there's a chance for them. If He can do it for us, He can do it for them too.
We teach Bible study. We do pre-release seminars. We have professional development classes. We do domestic violence. We do shelter.
We are in charge of worship services. We do worship with the men. We share testimony. We have students who will lead Bible studies. And then our favorite part are the breakout sessions where we really get to have one-on-ones with the guys.
You know what really surprises me is how we feel about the women, not even actually knowing them. It's almost like God is communicating to us how much He loves the women, and supernaturally we go in and we feel that love ourselves, and then we communicate it to them.
Our Christian fellowship gave me an opportunity to step out with Christ, reaching out to people nobody cares about. Throw them away. Lock up the key. They're good for nothing. And Christ had a different story. He said, Mom, I got some friends I want you to go meet. Friends of mine. It was that clear. It still is. It still is. After 15 years, I enjoy being with the guys.
These guys have children, and they have families, and they care about their families. They know that they made mistakes. Some of them will admit it, some of them won't. But these are just ordinary people that have gotten caught for their mistakes and are doing their time. But they still need you just like the rest of the world.